They found her covered in blood. Well, not exactly blood, but something far more sinister. A mysterious red dust that archaeologists had never seen before. And when they realized just who this woman was, it changed everything we thought we knew about ancient power. This is the story of the Red Queen and the dark secret she took to her grave. Picture this. You're exploring ancient ruins in the Mexican jungle when you break through a stone wall and find a woman's skeleton completely drenched in crimson dust, wearing more treasure than most kings. Sounds like a movie, right? Well, this actually happened in 1994. And the woman they found? She might be the most powerful person you've never heard of. We're talking about someone so important that her tomb was filled with over 1,000 pieces of precious jade, yet her name was mysteriously erased from history. But here's the wild part. Recent discoveries suggest she wasn't just powerful, she might have been murdered. And the red dust covering her body, it might be the key to understanding why someone wanted her story buried forever. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll know the shocking truth about the Red Queen and why her discovery is rewriting history books right now. So here's what happened. Archaeologists are digging around these ancient Mayan ruins when they stumble across this sealed tomb. The moment they crack it open, bam! Everything inside is stained blood red. And we're not talking about a little bit of red dust. We're talking about everything. The walls, the floor, every single bone completely crimson. But wait, it gets weirder. This woman wasn't just buried with treasure, she was absolutely drowning in it. Jade mask covering her face, pearl jewelry, obsidian knives, and get this. Some of the jade work was so intricate that modern jewelers can't figure out how they made it. Now here's where your mind should be blown. This level of treasure was typically only given to the most powerful rulers. But according to official records, women weren't supposed to have this kind of power in ancient Mayan society. So who was she? The archaeologists start digging deeper, literally and figuratively. They find carved bones with mysterious symbols, vessels filled with unknown substances, and here's the kicker: evidence that someone tried to erase her from history. Inscriptions that mention her importance, but deliberately leave out her name. It's like someone went through and redacted a CIA document, but 1,500 years ago. And that red dust, it's called cinnabar, and it's not just expensive, it's toxic. Someone spent a fortune covering this woman's entire body in poisonous red mercury. The question is why? All right, here's where it gets absolutely insane. After years of detective work, we finally figured out who she was. The Red Queen? She was Lady Tsakbua. And she wasn't just some queen. She was potentially the real power behind one of the greatest Mayan dynasties ever. But here's the bombshell that'll blow your mind. She wasn't even originally from this city. Analysis of her teeth shows she was a foreign princess, probably married off to secure a political alliance. Think Game of Thrones, but real life and way more brutal. Now get this, her tomb is positioned right next to the most famous Mayan king's burial site. That's not coincidence. That's a power move. Someone wanted her to be remembered as an equal to the greatest ruler in Mayan history. But why cover her in toxic red dust? Here's our theory. Cinnabar wasn't just ceremonial. The Maya believed it had magical properties. It could preserve someone for the afterlife, but it was also associated with blood and sacrifice. Was this an honor or was it punishment? And here's the part that gave us chills. Recent analysis shows evidence of blunt force trauma on her skull. Someone modified her head when she was alive, which was normal for royalty, but there are also marks that suggest violence. What if the Red Queen wasn't just a powerful ruler? What if she was so dangerous to someone that they had her killed, then buried her in toxic dust to make sure she stayed dead? The more we dig, the more this looks like the world's oldest cold case. When this discovery hit the archaeological world, it was like dropping a nuclear bomb. Suddenly, everyone realized we'd been completely wrong about women in ancient America. If one woman could have this much power and wealth, how many others did we miss? Archaeologists started frantically re examining other sites, and guess what they found? Evidence of powerful queens everywhere. Turns out, women weren't just sitting around making pottery, they were running empires. But here's what's really wild. Modern Mayan communities in Mexico have embraced the Red Queen as a symbol of feminine power. They're performing ceremonies at her tomb, claiming she's speaking to them in dreams. Whether you believe in that stuff or not, it's clear her story is still having an impact 1,500 years later. And the investigation isn't over. Using ground-penetrating radar, archaeologists have detected more chambers near her tomb that haven't been opened yet. There could be additional bodies, more treasure, or most importantly, more clues about what really happened to her. DNA analysis is being done right now to confirm exactly who she was related to, and new discoveries at other Mayan sites are filling in the gaps of her story. We might finally get the full truth about the Red Queen's life and death. So what's the real story here? The Red Queen represents something huge, the realization that history is written by the winners, and sometimes those winners deliberately hide the truth. Think about it. A foreign princess comes to a new land, potentially becomes one of the most powerful rulers in Mayan history, then mysteriously dies and gets buried in toxic dust while someone tries to erase her from the record books. That's not just history, that's a conspiracy that lasted over 1,000 years. Her story proves that women in ancient civilizations had way more power than we ever imagined. But it also shows us how easily that power could be taken away and forgotten. The Red Queen's blood-red tomb is still giving up secrets. Every new discovery brings us closer to understanding not just who she was, but what she represented. Power, ambition, and the lengths people will go to bury the truth. But maybe the most important lesson from the Red Queen is this. Just because someone tries to erase you from history doesn't mean you're gone forever. Sometimes the truth finds a way to surface, even after 1,500 years. Her voice may have been silenced, but thanks to modern archaeology, the Red Queen is finally telling her story. And trust us, it's a story that's going to keep getting wilder as we uncover more evidence. Okay, we need to know. Do you think the Red Queen was murdered? Or was she just an incredibly powerful woman who scared the men in charge? Drop your theories in the comments because this case is still open and we want to hear what you think. If mysteries like this blow your mind, subscribe and ring that notification bell. We've got way more ancient histories and conspiracies coming your way. And if you want another mind-bending story, check out our other videos. See you next time.